We're coming to you from the Radford Studio Center lot in Studio City, right over the hill from Hollywood. This is the place where dreams are made, legends are born. Hello and welcome to a special Halloween episode of The Lot. I'm your Halloween piñata, Suzanne Marquez, and I have a special guest here, Esteban Barragan, the Halloween skeleton for you. We have lots of tricks and treats for you this episode. Barbie, a huge costume this year that I don't know if you can knock ours, are kind of the top ones. And we're also talking to the men behind I'm Just Ken. We have two frightfully scary movies, and if scary isn't your style, we have lots of funny and even a dash of Christmas. But let's stay with Halloween for now. A new movie just opened in theaters, and it might have you giving Chuck E. Cheese the side eye. The suspense-filled Five Nights at Freddy's is PG-13 and full of suspense. It's based on the massively popular video game set in the 80s. Only the characters in this fictional family pizza franchise come to life at night, and Josh Hutcherson plays the overnight security guard.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, where fantasy and fun come to life.
That is, unless you are the new night security guard trying to survive Five Nights at Freddy's.
We're going to have so much fun together.
The film is based on the massively popular video game franchise.
The fans were like first and foremost in our minds in terms of audience and wanting to make sure that this really landed for them. But we also wanted to make it a film that worked in its own right.
Have you met them yet?
Met who?
Foxy, Bonnie, Chica, and Freddy.
The murderous animatronics from the game were brought to vivid, scary life for the movie.
We wanted them to be as practical and tactile as possible. And what was so great about that was, you know, the actor's ability to have like a completely, fully realized interaction with them. There wasn't much left to the imagination. So they were able in real time to, you know, have a live experience with them.
Ghost children possessing giant robots.
We built them with Jim Henson's Creature Shop, and the design process was intensive, and we were, of course, referencing the animatronic designs from the game, and then, you know, bringing them to life in a whole new three-dimensional way.
He's coming.
That is scary, but Barbie and Ken are sadly going to be the most popular costumes of the year. Esteban, I know, I'm sorry. But I did sit down with the super producers of the Barbie movie soundtrack who tackled their first film score together. The soundtrack for the Barbie movie is a smash. With hitmaker and executive producer Mark Ronson at the helm, he has an Oscar with Lady Gaga and 7 Grammys under his belt from working with Gaga, Amy Winehouse, Bruno Mars, just to name a few. Andrew Wyatt, who just released his own solo album, is known for being the frontman of the band Mike Snow. They watched Barbie, then tackled their first film score together.
As soon as we read the script, I always, as songwriters, there's something about reaching Ken as this tragic figure in the film in some ways. I mean, obviously he has like a nice ending, but there's something about it. He's the one that doesn't get what he wants. So as songwriters, it's always easier to dig into that emotion a little bit, because melancholy, we know great songs come from that. And I had the idea.
We know how to lose.
Yeah, we know how to lose. Everyone can empathize the loser.
Yeah.
And I had that idea for the chorus lyric, and I wasn't supposed to be like funny. It was more like, I'm just can't anywhere else I'd be a 10. Like this is making me sad. Like, I mean, of course it has been reused as memes, and it became something that was more like memeable, but no, we were just trying to write this earnest song that really felt from this guy's perspective. And then Greta heard it and she loved it and played it for Ryan, and he said, I want to sing this in the film, because, you know, originally he was never going to sing in the film. That wasn't, and it just kept kind of building from there.
You heard that right. Andrew recorded the vocals for the song I'm Just Ken, but Ryan loved it so much he insisted on performing it himself, and we are all grateful for that. What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas is Barbie's emotional center that the producers threaded throughout the film.
there's that scene that's made for, which is, speaking of made for, the song "What Was I Made For" comes out of the radio in Ruth Handler's apartment, which would have been around that time. So we wanted to do an arrangement for that song that reminded us of like the old, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory 1963 sound, you know, those songs that used to be on the radio actually.
Barbie is perfect. I love all of her iterations. I can't wait to see everybody's costumes this year. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait for Halloween. Wait, what's going on? I sense it. Ow! Esteban! Thank you for that Halloween scare. It got me back into the Halloween spirit. Heather Graham has a multiple personality in the new sexy horror thriller Suitable Flesh, which Esteban doesn't have any. It's now in theaters and on digital. Rated R and a nod to the 1985 campy horror classic, The Reanimator.
Okay. All right. What's going on with you?
Well, dear, why don't we start fresh? I'm Elizabeth. Can I bum a smoke?
You don't smoke. You don't usually drink during the day, and you don't sleep with your clients. Who the hell are you?
I told you. I'm Elizabeth.
In Suitable Flesh, Heather Graham plays a cursed psychiatrist who watches her life spiral and becomes obsessed with one of her young patients, who she discovers is linked to an unstoppable ancient curse.
Can't do this. Sorry. Wrong number.
Heather Graham was such a perfect person to play this role because she's so beautiful, but she also, you know, we remember her from Austin Powers and these different roles where she's so tongue-in-cheek.
And when it literally took me a 10, 15-minute Zoom call with her for her to be like, I think we're going to make this movie together. And I'm like, I think we are. You know, whenever you give an actor a chance to play multiple parts, that's just like, yes, they get really excited about it. And I got excited every day just watching her really have a lot of fun. And when you have a lot of fun on your set, whether you're a crew member or an actor or what have you, when you're having fun, in most cases, it means the audience is having fun too.
Your doctors are all the same. You ask a lot of questions, but you don't like answering them, do you?
Well, have you seen a lot of other doctors?
Doctors, healers, potion dealers.
I love that you've worked on Creepshow. I'm obsessed with scary movies. I've always loved Halloween, and I would do like a little haunted house in my driveway every year when I was a kid, when you would have like, you know, a stereo and play scary sounds in the dark. And then we had a...
You're one of the good ones, right?
Right?
Oh.
So I have to ask you, what got you into the horror, thriller, scary genre?
I will have to attribute this, and she does not like me talking about this. My mom. It was my mom, who was a huge horror movie fan in her own right. She's one of the people who went to opening weekend of The Exorcist when it came out in Radio City Music Hall. She would see every horror movie possible, and then she had a kid. This guy, and you know, I'm sure that they put a serious crimp in a lot of her movie-going experiences, especially horror. But one day, back in 1979, she went and saw Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead. And guess who she brought with? Me, because she couldn't find a babysitter.
Who are you? Really?
Okay, I'll go with the gift bag. I'm persuaded. The gift bag.
So that means you're giving up this, Tiffany.
It was a coffin filled with vampire Zorilla.
Halloween surprises await instead of zongs for the Halloween episode of Let's Make a Deal this Tuesday, October 31st, of course. The same goes for The Price is Right. The cast got into spandex, teased hair, mullets, and muscles. They flexed in a pro wrestling-themed Halloween heavyweight showcase championship. With $1 Drew Carey in a muscle suit, announcer Gentleman George Gray and models Alexis Gobstopper Gob, Bad Day mate James O'Halloran, and tag team duo Manuela Thunder Arbeles and Amber Lighting Lancaster. Trick or Treat, the title of this movie, Sick Girl, may have you confusing it for a horror movie, but do not be tricked. This film is all treat. A hilarious comedy streaming on digital starring Nina Dobrev, who pretends to be sick to keep her friend's attention. Nina Dobrev stars in Sick Girl as Wren Pepper, a woman who claims to be sick to keep her friends close.
I miss you guys. We don't even hang out anymore. We're barely ever together as a group.
Well, that's how it goes.
Maybe you just got a little stuck after high school. I did not peak in high school. Everybody say yeah. I have cancer.
I met Nina first, and we had, a big, long conversation just about the script and about our views of friendship. She's got a lot of very long, very deep friendships. So this struck a chord with her emotionally. And once I had her, it was kind of just finding the three girls that fit and worked around her.
This cancer, did the doctor say it was from me? We didn't know not to smoke when we were pregnant. It was a different time. I never should have taken hallucinogenics, though.
What a tangled web Wren weaves as she has everyone convinced she has cancer.
What's wrong with me?
If you're looking for sympathy, you're not going to find it here.
This is what it feels like to have cancer. Bottoms up. Swallow. What? Why are you giving us the stank eye? We got cancer!
Filmmaker Jennifer Cram wrote Sick Girl a decade ago as she watched her own friendships change.
It was inspired by my own life a lot. When I wrote it, I was in my early 30s, and I was going through a lot of what's, happening in the movie. My friends were getting married, they were having kids, we were moving to different states. And up until then, we had spent so much of our time together. We'd been friends since we were kids. And it was trying to learn how to have this adult relationship and, what was going to happen if our friendships were going to last.
We're going to be here by your side through all of this. Friends to the end. Not that you're going to die soon.
I don't have cancer. You don't have to lie to mask your fear. I'm not lying.
Fibbing, this is textbook behavior.
Let's go, you bunch of hot messes.
What's going on in there? I'm coming in.
No, don't. If you are bald, we are bald.
Can you imagine? By the way, can I thank my special guest, Esteban Barragan, the most special, spooky, scary skeleton in the universe. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, Jay-Z gives a rare interview to Gayle King at an incredible free exhibit of his work, including his masters, his Emmys, now on display.